It is finally time to bring back one of our favorite segments every single week. That is Thursday at 8 a.m., where we are blessed to talk to LSU softball head coach Beth Torina. And at this time of depressing amounts of inflation in society falling around all around us, falling apart all around us, you know who's not falling apart? The LSU softball team. 10-0, multiple ranked wins, top 5 in the country in the latest D1 rankings. Coach Torina, what a start. How we feeling?
We're feeling good. We're feeling like we might be playing in a hockey game ourselves this weekend with
Hell
the weather,
yeah.
but, we're going to get it done. We are going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to get a group out of the berm Friday afternoon, and, geez, we are really soft here when it comes to cold weather because I'm running into some pushback. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's look. Before we look forward, though, you got another 5 games coming up this weekend. But before we look forward, let's look back. Because, again, in case you've missed it, we've talked about it on here, but in case you missed it, LSU softball played perfect 10-0. Like I said, multiple ranked wins and some new superstars beginning to emerge. None bigger than Hebner. Currently, through 2 weeks of college baseball, she already has a perfect game in her first ever college baseball game. She's twice been named SEC Freshman of the Week. Last weekend, she got 2 top 25 complete game wins over Northwestern and Virginia Tech. What can you say about your freshman phenom?
Well, she is really, really special. We're lucky to have her. I mean, she was the number 1 player in the country, so we had a good idea of what we were getting, but she's really lived up to the bill. Just been a joy to coach, too, just like open and wanting to make change. And I am going to help you out, though, because you're going to say the same a lot as Hebner.
It's Hebner. My bad. It's my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Jordan Hebner. Jaden, I screwed up again. Wow, God. Oh, my God. What a disaster. What a disaster.
It's the cold weather.
Disaster.
It's the cold weather. We're not used
my
to
brain's
it.
addled. I apologize.
I'm just helping you because you're going to say this name a whole lot for the next 4 years, a whole lot. So she's really, really special.
I'm also, Coach, you got to understand, I'm very flustered, okay? I just figured out a Caniac's $18 now. Taylor got 3 things from Taco Bell yesterday. It was $18. I mean, when we were in school, $18 was supposed to buy you equity in the Taco Bell itself. I thought you got like at least 2%, and now I can't even get 2 burritos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we could have fed the team for $18, no question. Like the whole team.
Shout out,
Yes,
legend.
I don't think there's any question about that. Coach, have you ever had a stretch of playing 4 ranked teams in a row and winning all 4?
I don't know. I'd have to look back, but it was awesome. It was really exciting. I think there's so many questions surrounding this group before we got going. So many young people, and even some of the older people are new to us with Avery Hodge and Jayla Lassiter, and so a lot of question marks. But they answered the call. You know, they stood to the test, and it's a super exciting time around here at Tiger Park.
And, Coach, that's something we've actually talked with Jay Johnson and Jay Clark and Coach Mulkey about young players now just being ready to play. And it's a different age. And I don't know what you can attribute that to maybe, because I know, like, when I was, like, it was 20 years ago, but when I was coming into LSU 21, oh, God, that hurt. You know, young people didn't play. Like, and when I didn't redshirt, like, I remember it kind of being a big deal. And a lot of really good players redshirted because that's just the way you did things. Like, now, like, in your career, you've been doing this a long time. Does it feel like young players are more ready to play as soon as they get to campus now compared to even a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I think, you know, at LSU, it's having an opportunity to get such special athletes. You know, we get the top of the top and the best that are out there. So they already have a ton of experience. They've been challenged. They've played for national championships at their levels, you know. So I think we're able to get a lot of athletes with a ton of experience. So, but this group has been super exciting. I can tell you the feelings around here are just really good. Everybody's pumped. Everybody's feeling good about themselves. So hopefully we can keep it going here.
And, Coach, let's talk a bit about Danica Coffey, because you mentioned all the young players, but any great team's going to have a mixture of veteran leadership and kind of those you know, those phenoms, those young stars. But Coffey last year, injuring her knee, brutal for her. I'm trying to remember. I remember talking about it with you right after it happened, and her basically saying, "Look, this is not how it's going to end for me." She is now back, batting over 500. What's it been like watching her on that road back and now having such great success right here out the gate?
Yeah, just picked up where she left off. It's been really fun to see. I mean, she's one of the best offensive players in the country, one of the best players. I think she's the best leadoff hitter out there. You know, it was a huge hit for our team. We never really could fill that spot that she left last year. So it was tough, but I'm so happy to see her up and going again. And the silver lining is she's leading a bunch of women who just want to be tough, like just try to have tough competitive at bats. Like, this team is fast, they run well, so she set such a cool tone for us every time of just how to be brave and have a veteran at bat, and then the young people follow and just kind of run all over the place, press people. It's been fun to see.
Coach, you're going to have a bunch of games coming up, as we've talked about. You're going to have 5 games in a couple of days. Maybe give us a book on some of the teams that you're going to be playing. I know it starts out with Penn State, and then you go to Southern Miss, and Nichols is going to be on Saturday and Sunday there to finish it up. So I know you, and I think we've talked with you enough to know that you already have a book on each team, but give us a little preview of what we're going to see in Tiger Park there for the LSU Invitational.
Well, I've seen every pitch on the offensive side for all 3 teams that they've played this year. They're all about 10 games deep. I've seen them all. But Penn State has a really good arm, but seems like she's had some injuries. So I don't know if we'll see her or not. I think that's been some of their issue. But an offense that runs a little bit like us, they're fast, athletic. Southern Miss took Ole Miss down to the wire last week and beat them. So they've had some moments where they've been really good. And then Nichols is coming off back-to-back really good years. So, you know, as always, you don't get a moment to take a day off or take a game off. You got to show up with your best.
Well, no, and I mean, it's so important preparing you for the best conference in softball. It's not even close, which is the SEC. So, like, having that kind of preseason forge to temper yourself, I think matters a lot, and y'all have done great in that regard. You've mentioned your team applying pressure, running a lot. I mean, you have some power certainly with Macy Bergeron, and Tori Edwards been huge thus far out the gates. But if somebody's coming to this 2025 LSU softball team, every year it's kind of like going on a first date, forming a new relationship. What do you think are the traits of this 25 team? Like, what should people expect when they come out to the berm?
Yeah, I think this team is tough. I think they're athletic. I think they understand how to play in Tiger Park. Our park plays a little differently, and they've embraced that. So, I think they've done a really good job. Last weekend, I sat in the press box watching Virginia Tech, and I was like, man, if this isn't a top 10 team, I don't know what is. Before we played them, 270-mile-an-hour arms, a lefty, a righty. I mean, they really had all the pieces. And then our team went out and just did such a good job against them. So I think you're going to get a little bit of everything. But I think the difference is going to be it's a lot of hard 60s. Like, we're coming out of the box. We're coming at you. If you leave anything open, we're taking it. And just applying pressure in a different way than we have before.
Coach, is there one thing that, having another group of games coming up and being in your ballpark so your team knows it well, like, is there one thing that you can point to say, I want to see this weekend before we head out to California?
We do kind of have a list of things we want to accomplish this weekend. Some of our, different run plays and different things that we're trying to implement. We do want to see some of that this weekend, gives a chance to practice some of the things. So, in a pressure spot, we've done it before. So hopefully you see us taking extra bases and, circling those base paths pretty often this weekend.
Coach, to go back to Hebner for a minute, I mean, a perfect game out the gate to start the career. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Little Miss Perfect. That's her.
I mean, it's like, I just can't fathom. So you're the number 1 recruit in the entire country, so much pressure on your shoulders. You get the nod opening day, first game of the year. And I mean, like, you couldn't be better. It's I guess it speaks to everything you're talking about, her like mental toughness, physical ability, just all of it.
I didn't tell her this story yet, but I went to tell her she was pitching, and I'm sure everyone assumed, it's Sid, right? Because I mean, Sid is still our horse, right? I mean, she's just the best of the best. I mean, it's hard to mention our pitching without talking about how special she is.
Yes.
But I thought the matchup was for Sid in the second game on the first night, and so I went to Hebner and I was like, Jaden, you're going to go the first game, the opener of the whole season, And she goes, she just looked at me and she's like, yeah, all right, yeah. Like, like she just, nothing rattles her. There's no moment that's too big. She just wants the ball and wants to compete. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair to Sydney Berzon, she follows that perfect game up with a 2-hit shutout, right? So, like you said, a lot of a powerful duo on the mound there for your LSU Tigers. Coach Torina, it is so great to speak with you again. Looking forward to doing this every Thursday. Again, guys, 5 more games coming up in Tiger Park this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend in the park. Get out there, have some fun. Again, one of the best vibes in all of Baton Rouge is the berm, watching a game, having a good time. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.